I was invited to moderate this speaker's corner with those guys, and I accepted. So thank you for that, Tomáš. It's honest to be here for me, and I have some questions for you, Břeťa and Terka. So very nice presentation for me today. It was perfect.
Thanks.
About React 18 and new features. And Terka is founder of React Girls.
That's correct.
And together with Břeťa, who is from community for Czech or not, Prague meetups for frontendisti. So they joined together to make this speech, and it was awesome. So thank you for that. I'm a big fan of React. Maybe some of you know. And I really like that. So is here any question from the audience for this topic?
That's beautiful. So we will start with question from the audience and shoot at us.
Yeah.
No, sure.
It's me? No, yeah. So should I stand or?
Oh,
You can sit.
You can
It's up to you.
It's up to you.
Okay. Yeah. So thanks again for the presentation. I have a bit specific question about these new features, transition, and everything. So let me quickly bring a live example and then start the talk. Okay. So let's imagine we have some big table with lots of rows. Let's say 1,000, for example, and we have an input where we can search or filter. So this data comes from API, and when we write on search, it adds URL params and make a request and updates the table. So let's say we have this kind of thing, and let's say we have a method on change which updates first of all the search state, and then the state makes an API call and updates the state, and UI updates. So in a normal way, if we start typing, it will be lagging because, as you said, it's batching, and 2 updates of state will be done as one re-render. And earlier, before this use transition and everything, old school way could be like wrapping in some timeout, with some timer. When you would hit enter, remove the timeout and whatever, something like this. And we exactly see what's happening. We have full control over it.
Yeah.
Now this use transition, it's some magic. We don't see what's happening. It just works out of the box.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my question is this: is there any benchmark or I don't know count of re-renders or something like this to compare these new approaches? Because it's not the first time React has some new feature, has some new hook, which is confusing, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, it's a perfect question. It's a really good one, actually. And I read some examples about this, and what you called as old-fashioned way, the throttling, as you said, it's still the preferable way. It's not the set transition, actually. You should still go with this way. It's more performant. That's the first thing. If you are not able to do it in this way easily, then I would go for the for those transition hooks, actually. So don't rewrite the code base because there is a new API for this. I think this is still more efficient, and I read articles that it's more preferable way still. Though I'm not sure about any benchmarks, to be honest. I'm not really sure. But yeah, this is actually how I would solve it. I would keep the old code base. It makes sense. It won't update the state. The React don't have to check the batching and do the stuff, right? There will be throttling. It will be on the code, as you said. So it's more efficient, definitely.
Okay, and if I add some new examples, still prefer to go this old way rather than use.
I think that you should still do the performance on your own, if it's possible, and if not, then start with the transition.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you. I got it. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you so much for the question. Now it's my turn.
Perfect.
A little bit. And I'm sorry. Okay. Suspense.
Suspense. Yes.
Okay. Let's kick off that suspense more deeper. maybe, about server-side rendering and streaming. Could you explain us that how it could work exactly during that sending that chunks from the server-side rendering? Do you have some experience with this kind of work with the React and server-side rendering?
Actually, not really, at least for my case, because at Pipedrive we are using micro frontends. So it's totally different use case than we use. But yeah, but basically what's behind it, and as far as I know, you can maybe add more information to this, because as I know you are using it in Heureka, right? But from the user perspective, user like a coder, right? It will behave exactly the same as it's behaved right now on front-end side, on the client side. And now, if you are using server-side rendering, it will behave the same. So that's the change. So you see, what's behind that? Maybe you can add from your side, because I'm not really familiar with it.
If you want, I can. Yeah, there was a change with API. The render to string is changed, or it's still, but it's obsolete. It's deprecated, that function, and you could use the streaming your chunks of assets or components from server to client with render to pipeable stream API or method, and it's cool. I tried it personally, and I haven't used it in production, but I already tried it, and it's cool that you wrap your component with suspense. It works on server, and then when the data is fetched for that components, that the chunks from the server is coming to the client automatically, and each part of that your wrapped components with suspense are hydrated separately. So it's cool, and I think it's big step to better performance and in this version. And I think React 18 is all about better performance.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, and for that case about the suspense, it solves, I think, 3 main issues. It's just fetching everything before showing anything. So it's that case, as Břetislav mentioned, load everything before hydrating anything. It's another one. And the last one, hydrate everything before interacting with anything. So you are not blocking your components and interactions, and I think it's more usable for the user. So.
Yes, exactly.
And as you said, we are in Heureka. I totally forgot to introduce myself. Party was hard to it's right. I'm Martin Krištof, and a lot of people from Heureka is here, so I'm glad to see you. And as you mentioned, in Heureka we are using that micro frontends, but we use that server-side rendering for that. And yeah, we really love these features. We are not using that module federation for joining the micro frontends. We have our custom solution, but because of CO, we need the server-side rendering. So I really like this one, this feature, and it should help us very well.
So have you already migrated some of your micro frontends to React 18? Have you tried it?
I think I tried it on my B-side or in my personal project, but in a production we have another team which already has done it, and it's product detail. And I think they are using Next.js together with React, and there are some performance issues with Next metrics, like Next render and Next annotation. It went down or and up respectively, get worse. So we really don't know what about the solution for that. There is a topic and a GitHub ticket for that. Nobody knows where is the problem, but we will definitely try to upgrade micro frontend, which isn't running on Next.js, doing benchmarks together. So in production, no, for my side.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Sorry. Is there any question from your side? now.
I'd like to ask you if you measure the performance gains of React 18 in comparison to the previous version of including features like concurrency or automatic batching and so on. How many milliseconds were you able to shave off?
This is actually a big issue for Pipedrive because we are it's a topic for this year that we are trying to increase the performance of the whole CRM. Now we are dealing with the performance on the GraphQL client side and trying to optimize those micro frontends bundles and backend responses. Well, after that, we will probably go to the React 18, but I'm not aware any measurement right now, but because it's too soon for us. It's really hard to migrate. We have 400 microservices and micro frontends together, so it's not that easy. And I would say it's really too soon to do it for us because we are kind of huge, and it's not that easy to migrate only one micro frontend because when we are building the tree for micro frontends up, there is still some version of React, right? So there is React 17, and we cannot from bottom to up easily to migrate it. So this is kind of long term. Yeah. But we will probably do it, but we are not there yet.
Yeah. All right. And what strategy will you use to update all that 400 microservices to a new version of React? Will you be doing it iteratively, or do you have to do it at one time?
For now, there is no way how to do it for all those micro frontends. I know we are using also some custom solution for merging those trees together. But probably we will need to upgrade the Pipedrive core to React 18, and then we will go one by one probably somehow. But this is the only way how we can achieve it. We have some front-end guilds where we are trying to find some solution how to do it dynamically, not just for React, but for all those shared dependencies. I'm not sure if you heard our podcast about micro frontend, but we touched this topic. This is one of the biggest issues, right, in the micro frontends, the shared libraries with micro frontends. It's this is the biggest nightmare.
Yeah, this
is the way. This is the reason why always those huge companies has 15 versions of React, for example.
Would I continue with this topic, or is it okay for you? Everything was answered?
Well, it's okay. I might have other questions as we go on. But,
okay, so I will touch you later. So if I can
please don't touch him.
Touch this. touch this topic
later.
More further. We are solving this similar problem. As you mentioned, that sharing vendor dependencies, like React versions, React DOM versions.
I have a nice joke all the time for this. When we are solving this issue, the answer is externals.
Okay, so there is no valid solution for you right now.
No.
Multiple versions. And could you make there some automatization for upgrading that share vendor dependencies like React?
Probably yes, but not now. It's not possible to do it. We are trying to find some solution how to do it. Either to introduce some script to our CI/CD, and through this we want to try to merge it somehow and bump it.
Okay.
Or at least tell the user, hey guy, you are not having your React version in externals. You will probably bundle the whole React to the micro frontend.
Okay, so now each micro frontend has built-in bundled React version?
No. It's external.
It's external with Webpack externals?
There is the common path or Webpack path. How was it called? I think it's Webpack path.
No externals.
It's shared, so we are hijacking this path. In the tree for you.
Yeah, and then you are injecting the version to the document, and each micro frontend
has the shared version, should have the shared version of the parent.
Yeah, okay.
So in ideal world, all micro frontends will have the same React version. But if you forget to put the React to the externals in Webpack, right, it will be bundled to the file.
Yeah.
So in that case, you are
So maybe there is just
on the wrong way.
to figure out the process for it. How to handle.
This is not a big issue. I think that the biggest issue is how to like migrate not external libraries. That's the biggest thing. Like those shared. I don't know if you are using Moment.js. I hate Moment. Some library like this, right? You have it in one micro frontend, and you have it also in another one with I don't know with different minor version. So instead of sharing the same version, that's one thing. You can solve it by externals. But if you wanna bump those versions for those micro frontend, that's the issue, and do it some automatically in some automation way. I don't know. This is what we are solving.
But it could be the way by the renovate bots or so.
Yeah, we are using dependable bots, but it's not covering all micro frontends, right? For this.
Okay.
It's not persistent between micro frontends. Yeah, but we are using it.
But to make some proxy, before your React version, and
That's
as a
also
wrapper, the versions. Okay, and it maybe could be the way.
Also.
Okay.
There are ways how to solve it. I agree with you.
Okay. I will return to you, please, with your another question.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna follow up on my micro frontends and how does the process, ideally in CI/CD, of merging the individual micro frontends look like when you decide to deploy something.
Yeah, I think it's a different topic that we are discussing here, but we can dig into it. Well, why not? Why not? It's up to others, right? If you want to hear that, so you can go into it.
Do you like to hear about micro frontends, or do you want to be discussing React 18 instead?
Thank you for doing my job. The question.
It seems nobody's opposing, so we can go.
We have there some questions from my side about React 18, but this is a very interesting topic for me and for everyone. So if you can, we can continue with.
Okay, we can go back to it. Do you have something different than server-side rendering in your questions?
Yeah.
So we can touch another topic?
Yeah, of course. So maybe I think that wanna be quick, and then we will jump to the.
That's my style.
We will jump to the micro frontends further. Okay. So maybe I was wondering about the strict mode.
The strict mode.
And the bug, I think, with double rendering, but I think it's not a bug. It should help us in the future. But what do you think about it?
Okay. But that's interesting. Okay, so let's start with what's this all about, right? In React 18, there is a thing that if you are using React strict mode in the development mode, use effect will throw multiple render. It will be like triggered twice.
Even if you pass empty array?
There is some issue.
Yeah.
There's some issue. I'm not sure if they know how to solve it. Actually, I don't think so for now. But yeah, it was a good idea what you said, that it might help you. That's correct, because all the time when I'm building new application, the first thing what I'm putting into application is something called use async. It's custom hook, which is using the reference, so it's just checking if the parent component got unmounted. If so, then it will just cancel the async operation. So, for example, do the request to the backend. So once the component is unmounted again, there won't be two requests to the backend. The first one will be cancelled, and it will be triggered once again. That's an issue, and that's what you are talking about. It might have sense to have it in the development mode, so you can check that your code is behaving in wrong way, right? Because you are having multiple requests instead of having just one, the cancelled one. Yeah, so I just told you how to solve it in one way, how we are doing it usually. Other way is to remove the strict mode for development mode. I wouldn't do that. Because it helps you to write the right code. Then you had the interesting presentation about the use query. Yeah.
React use query.
React use query. it does exactly the same what I said with the use async. They are canceling those asynchronous requests too.
Sure, it is a React query library, so this use query function.
Yeah.
You're right.
I think there are other solutions how to solve it.
I think you can use abort controller on your own.
Abort controller. I'm not sure if you haven't heard about that. It's a nice thing in JavaScript. It's amazing. If you are
No, finish. I'll just ask.
Yeah, the abort controller. It's constructor which will return you. I think it's a singleton, right? Some with some unique ID, and you can pass it to the fetch. I think as an argument, some signal.
As a signal.
As a signal. So this will be persistent. So once it will be called twice, it will break the first one and it will create a new one. So it's an amazing feature. Yeah, that was a good point. Just highly recommend to check it.
About these abort controllers, just a quick question. If we use a single wait syntax, is it possible to stop the request if we, let's say, I don't know, because we to then approach?
I think that abort controller doesn't. It does have nothing with request, right? It's fetch responsibility. So I'm not sure if abort controller has something, but I'm not sure.
I think this is the object you pass as an argument to the fetch, and there is a promise from it. And I think it should work. Await async is just a syntax sugar for promises.
But how would you cancel it?
But you should cancel with signal abort. Abort, it's not done automatically, and if you inside of these thens, if there is something, let's say if you get request for 100, or let's say I don't know, you go somewhere, you fetch, and you quickly change the route. Should cancel. So it's a bit tricky, but with async awaited.
Shrek, hopefully yes.
I don't know, but instead of that, I will use the observables maybe.
I'll go for it.
I think better way than cancelable promises, because promises aren't cancelable in the nature.
I'm with you. I will call the abort and fingers crossed, and let's wait. We'll see
And let us know.
I haven't tried it, to be honest.
And maybe there was something about the strict mode.
Strict mode.
I think it should help us with the side effects which are performed during the rendering to show that potential problems with our code. So it's similar to you said that I think we wouldn't bypass React strict mode for our development, and it should help us with the concurrency mode and how to write the concurrency code in React. So definitely.
Yeah. I agree.
I think this topic is done for me, and
it's covered, my friend.
About unit testing, there is a React testing library. Do you have any experience, Tereza, with React testing library?
Actually, I don't. Well,
I do.
Yeah, you do. That's great.
Enjoy,
I'm glad. Well, I'm here to get some knowledge from Břetislav because he's amazing, right? So you can tell me.
You're amazing too.
Okay.
Both of us, you're amazing. And you guys, you're amazing too. So.
Yeah, thanks.
So,
what was the question?
about
He does, but he does not.
Yeah, I do.
No,
I do have the experience.
Okay, and do you think that the React testing library will work with React 18?
I think so. If you use the new create root method, probably from React, and then if you bump to the latest, right? There's the latest version, and I think that it's possible. And I think that there's also some legacy way how to opt out from it, so you can use it even for the old render method, but it's some legacy flag or something like that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So this is the good new for us that we can use React testing library with React 18 yet, so it's cool. And what about Redux? Do you experience with Redux?
I do, and I don't like it.
You don't like,
I hate Redux.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And
It's awful.
It's awful.
Do you use context?
We use GraphQL.
Oh, instead of everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
We use GraphQL, and for those small things, we are using context. Yeah.
Which are not dynamic.
They are perfect for some easy thing, like to store some info about the user, for example. It's totally enough. But everything is stored in GraphQL in our case, so.
And Terka, you have an experience with Redux?
Well, actually, to be honest, not that much. Like the same example, we use GraphQL as well, but well.
But I heard that they finally migrated to TypeScript, right?
Yeah. We
So
did.
after 20 years of how old?
Yeah, in the version 8.
I just hate the Redux, sorry, but yeah.
Is here anyone who use React?
I think it's those two
Redux?
guys from Redux, right?
Redux,
No,
you?
I actually hate Redux as well. So.
My boy.
Redux. And I
Is there anybody who loves Redux? Oh, cool.
Really?
You can tell us. All right.
I use Redux. Thank you. I think,
We ran off our questions, so on.
yeah. And my question about Redux, you wouldn't answer, okay.
You can answer.
And I can answer maybe for you that there is no breaking change with upgrading the React to next version to cooperate with React Redux together with React and Redux. So you can use React 18 with Redux yet with the 7th version and in 8th version. So there are no breaking changes, but under the hood it's rewritten. With the hook, you mentioned that hook use external sync store.
Yeah.
And it's powerful that there are selectors, in Redux. They wouldn't be memoized anymore. So they shouldn't be memoized anymore because it's auto-magical right now. So it's cool for us as a developers. We wouldn't make another selectors anymore. So. This is just about the Redux. I know you hate it, but I love it. Sometimes with toolkit only.
Yeah.
Okay. What about server components? Do you have any experience?
Well, I just know they exist, right? They are not part of the React 18, but it will be next huge thing, definitely. Since it might use the code on the server side, right? So it will just send you it should increase the bundle size or the size of the project a lot, since this code will be placed on the server and executed on the server. So it will just return you the result thing. But yeah, I just tried to some examples and code pens, and that's all of my experience. I think it will change a lot because it's it's under the heavy development right now.
Will you use it after the release? When
I would love to actually.
Do you think that the way is good way?
I don't want to do the strong commitment for this right now. But yeah, who knows? It's definitely an interesting way. It depends how the code will be organized, and I'm not sure how it will fit in our micro frontend. But yeah, I definitely would love to try that and make a decision after I will do it.
And maybe about your case, your micro frontends. So I think, or you
I haven't tried it for
GraphQL.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's asynchronous extension of data and or fetching. So imagine that now you wouldn't need it.
It might happen, yeah.
Because in your component on the server, you will fetch the data from the database maybe directly and pass the prop to the client component.
Yeah.
Everything is in React. It's isomorphic. And we don't need any more Python and another one languages.
Yeah, it's like with JavaScript. The church is immense, but without a God. So things are changing, and it will happen probably with this. But it will take a long time, I think, to adopt. But yeah, it's also an interesting thing. But I'm now into GraphQL definitely. So once we will migrate all the micro frontends, then we can start with this. Who knows? it will be for challenge for another year. For I don't know. It may happen.
Yeah, yeah. And
But it's definitely give it a try and read about it. It's interesting technology or process how to solve this issue.
I think my prepared question from my paper, which is really beautiful, are gone. So maybe we can. There is a place for you for another questions about React, and then we can move for micro frontend topic. So is here any other?
I add two very quick questions since we talked about everything. The first one, during the presentation, you showed that this create root or something with TypeScript, you should use this null assertion operator. Is this their official recommendation? Because
Yeah, it is.
If you are using
For now,
very
it's
strict configuration, it will just fail. So it's it's like this, no.
Yeah.
Okay, and
It's weird, but it is what it is.
okay, and the second.
I copy paste the code from the original React documentation. So
So yeah, so it's the only way.
for now, yes.
Okay, and the second thing, are you using Material UI library or not?
No.
Oh.
No. For our case now, we have like one team which is solving our like UI code base.
Because with this React 18, they are breaking changes with Material UI 2. They are updating very, very quickly. If you use Material UI 4, they are using this JSS solution, which is not compatible with React 18. But this JSS solution is still compatible with Material UI 5. If you're using Material UI 5 and React 18, so you should stop using this make style. So it's a bit complicated, but if you're not using, so okay. Okay, so we can move to.
Interesting.
Nice, thank you. Another React question?
Well, Břetislav, or at the end of your talk, you were running script that did something and didn't quite catch what it did. Was it a custom script you've written?
No.
Yeah.
I just wanted to have it here, like for the nice interaction behind me. But yeah, it's a code mode. It's I don't know who's the owner of that, but the link will be in the sources in the presentation, and it will do the static analysis of the code base where we are running it, and then it will change the code based on your preferences. So you can set the preset for React 18, for React 19, to specific versions we want to just migrate. And if you run it, there is a select that then you can pick okay, I wanna automatically change all those missing children properties. And it will just append to each React.fc, it will wrap to the generics with children or something like that. It will just migrate the code base so it will be runnable. I don't think so. It's the preferable way for the children, especially specifically. But for the others, there's more things like 4 or 5 things you can solve by this automatically. But the children should be fixed probably manually because we don't want to have this generic type on each FC component.
So it saves a lot of time when
yeah. If you wanna just check how if the micro frontend works. It's the best way. Just pick everything here, run the static analysis, change the code, and try to run it.
Yeah.
And then you will see, okay, it works. So then I can do it properly.
And I had one job to play the video during the talk, and I screwed it up. Sorry for that.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It was. There was I can make the joke because of it. So it was fine. It was good.
Do you know the reasons why they removed the children props from the default React FC?
Yeah, they wanted to do it for a long time. It's called exist props, I think. It's because those props are they are passing them to the component, and the component it's not execute them, or the component itself is not responsible for the code execution. So it may lead you to some bugs, potential bugs. There are, I don't know, 2 or 3 cases. I'm not aware of those, but yeah, that's the main reason why they removed it.
Okay.
So
good question. Good question for Břeťa. Maybe Terka, what about React Girls and React 18?
Oh, okay. So, well, that's a great question.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, that's a pretty good question. Actually, we started just with upgrading our webpage, reactgirls.com. So we started like that, and we hadn't have yet some presentation or talk about that, but I guess that we will have it pretty soon, so everybody knows about it. And there were a few React girls at our talk, so they probably know a little bit about that. Thank you for the question.
And so you are making some trainings too for a community about React and development. So will you train your girls with the version 18?
Well, I think so. Actually, our courses are more for beginners, so I don't think so that it's a great idea to start with React 18 because we just teach them how to what exactly is hook. So we can start with hooks from React 18. But I think that it's a great topic for some meetups. So it could be interesting for our communities. That's it.
But it is your goal to
Oh, sure, yeah.
to be compatible with React 18.
Sure, of course.
Yeah, because React 18 is now adult, but still cannot drink an alcohol in the US.
Yeah, it's still a baby.
Still, but it's adult, so cool. Is here another question?
We're running out of time, actually. It should be some other discussion, right?
No limit, as Tomáš told me.
Okay, really?
But micro-frontends, maybe.
Or I got another question relating to React. How do you feel about suspense? I think it's still an experimental feature, right, in React?
Yeah, since we are using relay from GraphQL, we are using suspense.
Yeah. So there's no need for you to.
Yeah. So for 1 or 2 years.
And given the situation, you weren't using Relay and GraphQL, would you like it to use it then?
I wouldn't be so afraid, actually.
Yeah.
To be honest. But yeah, just keep it in mind, and it may lead to potential to some problems. But what about you? Are you using suspense on a daily basis?
Because of server-side rendering,
Yeah, that's the answer.
now we can, but we didn't.
Yeah, because
We haven't, but we will definitely. And I think we are already using some dynamic imports and some suspense for server for client side, just for few micro frontends. And about the data fetching, you told it's different. Your GraphQL, we are on REST APIs. So we're using our own features or that use React queries, or we will use from the Redux toolkit that Redux toolkit query. So it's amazing feature too for that, but it's Redux, it's not Apollo and GraphQL and Prisma or Relay. So we are looking forward to this feature. We will finally use. Okay. Another question, or do you want to end it?
I don't know, but because the micro frontend topic is kind of huge. I
think too. Maybe just few questions. Two.
Do you speak Czech actually?
Yeah.
So I will let you to check the Vzhůru dolů podcast where we had discussion about the micro frontends. It's like 50 minutes. 50 minutes. So
take a note.
Yeah.
Good solution. So maybe it's gonna be enough for now. Maybe if you can just
feel free to reach out to us during the after party and
touch my guests. I really thank you for your time and for your answers and questions.
Thank you.
Sometimes, but really for the answers. I really like your presentation and the job, and you well done, and what you are doing for the community. So thank you for that, and see you later.
Sure.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for your question.